Hey, it's Jared. I just got back from NAB 2025 and I carried all of my gear in this camera bag from PGYTECH. It is the OneGo 2. And we're going to open this up and look at all the gear that I was able to fit in the bag as part of my review. And then I'll also show you a few other bags that PGYTECH debuted this year. So this is the bag. It is a 20-liter bag. And I have it cram-packed full, and I also have my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 hanging off the side with a small carabiner. That's how much stuff I took. So we'll go ahead and just unclip that because that's not really part of the bag, but there are lots of little hooks and attachment points all over the bag. So let's first start with the sides of the bag. So on this side of the bag, we have a pocket that opens up to the side here and opens all the way. And we have lots of storage on the side. I ended up putting my microphone here because I needed quick access to my Rode mic for interviews and different stuff like that while I was at NAB. And in this pocket, we have a sleeve here that could fit, you could fit a water bottle in there, but I fit the microphone. I also used these for clipping tools. And then there's a pouch on the inside that I used for some additional batteries, cables, dongles, and it's also where I hid my AirTag so that if my bag got lost, I'd be able to find it. And so lots of room in this pouch here on the side. If we zip this back up, we also have a pouch on the outer side, and that also has a strap tie down here so that if we wanted to put a small tripod or something in there, we could also put this around it and then attach that clip right to this hook on the side. And so that tucks away nicely. These are really nice because it's elastic built in. So there's no need to constantly be tying this down or loosening it up. It is going to hold whatever you have in there nice and tight. On the other side, we have what looks to be like a similar pocket. So we've got the same looking pocket, but if we open this up, it's going to be different. But let me show you first that we also have another pocket on this side with one of the same tie downs that can attach right here. But if we open this pocket up, we get access to the inside of our bag. And so I've got my NAB badge that I shoved in there. We also have a zip pouch right here and a really small one for maybe a pin. Let's go ahead and open up that pouch. This pouch is a little bit different. I have my Plod recorder in here. I used my AI Plod recorder to record all of my different interviews so that I can more easily transcribe them, get the gist of what those interviews were about. But we also have battery storage right here, and we have magnets that we can turn around for green if the battery's good, red if the battery's bad, and they just magnetically attach right here. That's an awesome way to store the batteries. And then there's a little bit of extra room here in this pouch too for maybe additional cables, chargers, what have you. But we have access to our camera right here, as you can see. And I'll just tilt this up on the side, open up that pouch, access to a camera, a lens, whatever you want to have in that particular position. So let's zip this side back up here. Looking around the bag, it's very clean and sleek here. What I do like about this bag is that there aren't a bunch of zippers. There isn't a bunch going on. It's a very minimal bag from the outside. We've got a handle right here for carrying, and this was really nice for getting the bag out of the car, getting it out of overhead bins in the airplane when I flew down to Las Vegas. So overall, really liked that. I did attach this clip here to the strap that I could then flip up like so, and then I could put the Osmo Pocket 3 in here and grab kind of like some shoulder first person action as I was walking through the show floor. And then this just pops right off, press this in like so, and that slides right off and gets out of the way. So the chest strap's a little bit different than what I'm used to, but I actually really like it. The chest strap that holds the shoulder straps together so that they don't slide off of your shoulders. Let me show you how this works. This slides right in like so and snaps into place. Now that's on there. And I didn't think it was going to be super sturdy at first. And I thought, oh, okay, you pull a pull tab to get this off. That's not going to last very long. Typically, my bag's pretty heavy. I've got bigger shoulders, and the bag wants to pull itself right off of my chest every single time. But this was very strong and very supportive and was surprisingly comfortable. It has slots right in here, so that way it doesn't slide up and down, but you just snap it into place like so, and then you just simply pull the little tab, and it pops right off. And you can adjust this all up and down, and it works the exact same way on the other side. pull tab as well and slides right into that track. I thought that was a really nice design. It was very easy, and the fact that it's reversible. So if you're left-handed and you'd prefer to pull that tab off from the right side, it's there and it works on both sides, which most backpacks don't do that. All right, so let's open up the top of the bag. It has a really simple to use clasp here, but you do need to practice with it a little bit because the natural tendency is just to grab and pull down on this, and that's not the way that it works. You actually push up on it very gently and then it releases, and then to reattach it, it just snaps right back into place like that. So just push up. Natural tendency, like I said, is to pull down. That's not the way it works. I've done that so many times because I'm still trying to get used to it. You just push up on it and it opens up. Now in the top of the bag here, this is probably going to be anticlimactic because I don't have a whole lot of camera view here, but watch what I pull out of the top of this bag. I pull out an entire Pixus 6 that is rigged out halfway. I need to attach the rest of the stuff on it, but I've got the Pixus 6K here that I pulled out of the top of the bag. Let me try to show you just how deep the space is here in this bag. So if I put the bag on its side here, there's so much space in the top of this bag. And as you can see, I pulled out this entire Pixus 6K that has not only a cage on it, but the rails on the bottom and the battery mount on the back. And that's why I chose this bag, because I was bringing this camera. I wanted it to fit in the bag, and this bag did it. In the top here, there's also a zipper and some storage right in here. A little bit of storage for something small. Of course you can. You don't have to have this completely opened. I did remove a few of these additional dividers so that I could fit that giant camera in there. But you can have additional dividers in there as well, and that is going to allow you to do something with that giant cavity of space if you don't need all of that real estate. So let's open up the back of the bag. The back of the bag is where everything else is stored, and as we open this, you can see I've got my journal. Everything just kind of got thrown in there towards the end of the day, so there's a cable and a charger right here. But we also have a camera strap that I have in there. We've got the A7C II with the 24 to 50 millimeter lens. We've got all of the pieces for the DJI Focus Pro that are in there because I was using autofocus on this system. And so we've got the motor for that. We've got the handle for that. We also have the monitor swivel. We've got a couple of cables. We've got the Blackmagic EVF monitor, small rig battery. See, I don't have enough room on my desk. It all fits in this bag, but I don't have enough room on my desk. I've got the Wireless Pro from Rode, the top handle, the tool that came with my cage kit here. We've got the Nisi 35 millimeter Athena. We've got the handle. I mean, so much stuff that fits in here. And then not to mention on this side, we have 2 slips for tablets. I had an 11-inch iPad Pro in here. You could probably fit up to a 13-inch laptop in this sleeve. Then we've got the bigger sleeve over on this side. And with this sleeve, we could fit easily a much bigger laptop. I only have a 14-inch MacBook Pro, and it fit in here without any problem. And these are magnetically attachable, and there's also a little lip here. So if this was to fall down, you would think, oh, all of your stuff's just gonna slide right out of it. It would take a lot of force for everything to slide right out. These magnets are pretty strong, first of all. The way that the sleeve is designed, this magnetic and this raised area here rests above that and kind of seats there. And so it would have to have a lot of force to have your laptop or something slide out of there. Might be nice if there was some sort of a clasp, but you just have to be mindful of, I mean, if you were really rough on your backpack, putting it down hard with this laying down, maybe something would slide out of it, but it's not something that I'm going to worry about. Now, you also have access to that large cavity here by opening up the bag. It's got good Velcro. Open this whole section up here, and we have this big cavity opened up, and this is where these dividers were placed before. They were in here somehow. These dividers were in there, and I just took them out, fit the large camera in there, and this bag worked out great. So this is the OneGo 2 backpack. Let's quickly take a look at a few other options from PGYTECH. Now this is the OneGo from PGYTECH. It's more of a messenger style bag. And this is your more grab and go bag where you just need a couple of small things to carry with you. You open it up and you could easily fit a camera in here. So I could fit this A7C II in here easily. And then I also have some room over here for some additional items, maybe another lens, some accessories. There is a zipper pouch here that you can get access to and put in any accessories that need to be separate from the rest of the cavity of the bag. This is a great bag because it's just super soft. I mean, this feels like a sleeping bag. The OneGo has a lot of padding. I mean, it does feel a lot like a sleeping bag. So you're putting all of your items in here. I'd feel safe putting my items in this bag and carrying it just because it's really soft, but also has a nice padding in the walls of the bag as well. And that is the OneGo from PGYTECH. Now, if you're wanting something a bit more robust than the OneGo 2 that we looked at, we have the OnePro Focus, which is a much larger bag. This bag's definitely made for bigger jobs, longer travel. Not only do we have a lot more space in this bag, but we also have a waist strap as well. So if you're going hiking, this might be a great option. What I noticed immediately is that there's a separation between the back of the bag and the bag itself. So if you find yourself often getting sweaty because of the bag that you're using, this setup here is going to avoid that because you have the separation on the back of the bag from your back. So lots of breathable material here and support to keep the bag off of your back. A little bit larger, we have the OnePro Flex, which is very similar to the Focus, but is larger. We have the same system here on the back and a strap system on the back for carrying a tripod, as well as attachments down here so that we can support the tripod. We've got big pockets on the side for storage and access. And inside the bag is a large removable camera cube. And a little bit different, but the bag actually opens up to the side as opposed to over like most bags do. What I like about this is that then your laptop sleeve just hangs to the side instead of hanging off the back, where a lot of times your laptop, your tablets, or whatever can slide right out the bottom. Now, this bag is obviously modular. You can take the entire sleeve out, and you've got a giant cavity in here to use the bag for other purposes besides photography. But you can slide the cube right in, and you would want it in this position because there is a access point here on the side so that when you open up the side of the backpack, you also can open up the side of the cube and pull your camera out, pull a lens out, or whatever you need quick access to. And if we open up the cube itself, we've got a ton of storage and flexibility in here to fit all of your cameras, lenses, and accessories. So I hope you enjoyed looking at some of these PGYTECH bags. I know that I really enjoyed the OneGo 2 as I traveled to NAB 2025 this year. That bag worked out perfect. So I've got links to these bags down in the description below. PGYTECH's bags are very durable, made with high quality materials, and meet or exceed the build quality that I've seen in pretty much every other bag that I've looked at. So thanks for watching. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you back in another one soon. Take care.